Yo, good morning. It's Wednesday, 11 o'clock Eastern here in New York. So we go live, Coffee with Creators. I got Josh Turi with me today, but we're going to get to who this guy is. Once I unleash him, there's no putting him back in the bottle. Trust me. But this
morning, everybody.
that's Jersey right there.
Hey, you got to represent something, man.
Got to represent something.
You got, you know.
This is 42 West 18th Street, Adorama. This is not a green screen. You guys are always welcome here. These chairs have been on fire lately. Not really, but we've had amazing classes from Drew Gurian, Gary Hughes, Johnny Edward. We had some amazing classes going on. So make sure you check out the events channel and also stop by. There's the new bins, $3 for anything that's in there. We'll talk about that later. I know, blah, 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 blah. Let me give a quick shout out to Acronis for sponsoring this one. Thank you so much. Acronis is cybersecurity and backup. So think of it as identity theft or malware, ransomware, or you just want to make sure you have a clone of your local disk or cloud backup on Windows PC, and it's available on mobile devices as well. So check out the link down below for an affordable backup solution that keeps you protected. All the information in that link. Thank you, Acronis. And I want to give a quick thank you to Tenba. You, my friend, are getting this.
Whoa.
What
do we got?
Oh, Tenba, by the way, one of the most legacy bag companies.
Whoa.
Look at that with a custom badge on it.
I am 100%, and my wife will attest to this, a bag nerd, a bag junkie. This is cool. Yes, this will get you a lot. Actually, thank you so much. Much appreciated. Yeah.
Tenba, since 1977, started by a photographer right here in New York. Some of the best bags in the industry. Check out the link for their full lineup. They got everything from rollers, the backpacks, to those things. That's a great bag, by the way. And they made custom plates for us, which is amazing. And last but not least, I want to say thanks to Gotham Roasters for hooking us up. Cheers, kid.
So thanks for having me. We got some coffee.
What kind of coffee you get?
I'm a straight up black, hot, like my soul.
I don't know how you're doing hot in 100-degree weather.
Well, you know what? You got it, because I'm so cool.
Well, you know what's cool? This is owned by a photographer and a filmmaker. So if you're coming to the store, they're one block up on 19th Street. Say Adorama sent you and support the community. Come on, what's up? All right. Now, who is this guy? So probably 12 years ago, I met you.
Yeah.
And this guy is one of those talented makeup artists in the industry, hands down. One of the best FX shops, hands down. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Another guy sitting here?
Look at this guy. If you guys remember this, I shot this a billion years ago, right?
Yeah.
This is a Popeye makeup that was being done at a trade show called IMATS here in New York on the West Side Highway, Chelsea Piers.
Yeah, that was up in Chelsea Piers.
Yeah. So he was doing this on stage, had a microphone on him, a Britney Spears mic, no less.
Yeah.
And you're up there with
I always tell people that was the most offensively cursed makeup demo that anybody's ever seen. Between me and Neil, I think we threw out more F-bombs.
You know what? It was just crazy because as the show's going on, you're watching people congregate and flood towards the stage, and I couldn't see what was going on because I was shooting everybody else's makeup, and all I kept hearing was people tapping on the shoulder like, you got to get that, you got to get that. I'm like, get what?
It was just fun. We're up there, and then of course, as you're doing things live, things go awry. You know, like my compressor stopped. I got this. I just decided, well, we're just gonna have fun. We started throwing paint. I'm wailing puffs out of people in the audience. We just started to, you know what? We had so much fun doing it. It was just a ball.
He did it with Neil Gordon. If you don't know, is the guy that does everything like Doctor Who.
Yeah.
We have a video on this channel. If you check up Millennium Effects, there's a video on this channel where we go in over there and
amazing.
shoot. He's amazing.
So
You're both amazing. This is an incredible makeup. I remember seeing it in real life, and people just could not wrap their heads around it. It was like, am I blowing? Is my mic blowing out for you guys? Sorry, guys.
No, nice job, host.
Yeah, stop it. You couldn't do one.
No, I couldn't.
So anyway,
I'm barely here.
But aside from this one makeup, you, my friend, have quite an IMDb list. We're talking about Marvel Netflix. I'm talking about Marvel Daredevil. I'm talking Punisher. I'm talking Saturday Night Live. You were a key makeup artist for like how long? Like
15 years.
15 years.
15
so
years.
You made all those actors in like minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, the time frame you have to work on Saturday Night Live is crazy.
It's nuts.
But look at this IMDb page for this guy. I mean, forget about it. I mean, it just goes on forever. And you're not just an artist. You own a shop.
It's my shop.
Yeah. People.
Yeah, it's my shop, and I kind of pride us there as being like a one-stop shop because it's prosthetics, it's blood effects, it's bodies, it's creatures, it's design, it's not, and of course nowadays we're doing scanning and all this stuff. So it's really opened up to whatever you kind of need. Give us a call, we can get it done for you. And I also have a side business of I sell blood I sell theatrical blood to different suppliers here in Manhattan. You know, like all that. But it's a washable, skin safe, mouth safe blood. So it's like we have my shop kind of encompasses. Yeah, and you know, over the years, having people in and out. You know, you go as sure as people out there can attest. You go through people, but I've managed to find a bunch of people that are just awesome, and I keep in my life. And even like, you know, there's times we're not working full time or things like that, but I make sure that, you know, these people stay in my life because they're awesome artists. They're great people. And that's the best part about working, you know.
This industry and any creative industry that especially works as fast as production does is relationships. You don't want to roll dice on somebody. You want to go with someone that's been reliable.
You want to know what it is. You start working with somebody enough that you start doing what I call the dance. Like, I know where you're moving when I'm going this way. I know that I don't have, you're there, you know, and we just, even if it's in the shop or if it's on set, we're doing that dance.
Yeah.
We're doing that dance.
It's not just knowing what to do. It's knowing how you work.
Yeah.
That's what
and if you have those people around you that are just amazing, when you freeze, and it happens to me a lot, I go like this, I go, what are we doing here? And then you get all these creative minds that come together and go, well, what if we, and then the juice, and then you start going. And then that is the best part, when you can just be around creative people and you just start throwing ideas, you know?
Yeah. And that's, I don't think people realize how much community takes into place the rest of everything you're trying to do. It's never a one-man thing.
Oh, no.
So first of all, what got you going? And two, what made you take the leap into your own shop? Because that's not just being a makeup artist with a kit. That's a big deal.
Well, I was a monster kid. You know, I always joke around and I say everything that got me beat up as a kid is now really popular, you know, comics, monsters, metal, you know, and I was just always a monster kid. And I just knew one day I was lucky enough and I saw a makeup artist working. And I was like, I think that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. And they put a piece on me. And I just happened, you know, and that was it. That was it. And I knew this is where I wanted to go. And it just became one of those things where I started doing jobs. I started doing little things, and I realized that I loved being able to do things beginning to end. You know what I'm saying? But I also spent a lot of years interning, a lot of years apprenticing, you know, getting plaster buckets thrown at my head because I screwed something up.
Okay, first of all, a lot of you might not realize what goes into FX. So I've been casted. I know exactly what goes in this. What you guys don't realize is that actors and everything, they literally have to make a mold of the human to then sculpt the prosthetics on them. So then you're doing positive to negative to positive to negative over and over again.
Yeah. We're doing a life cast on the actor. Then from that, we make our positives to sculpt on. And from there, we make all the pieces. Yeah.
What's crazy is that this has been the process for like decades. I mean, it's insane.
Forever.
Yeah. So what is,
I mean, really long time ago, artists would do plaster casts on people, and you're just doing, you know, straight up plaster on people. And that's where it kind of grew from, you know, and then it grew into these materials like moulage and things like that. And for years we used alginate, and now we have silicones that we use that are medically safe. And now we're digitally scanning. So everything has that massive progression.
Yeah, but I also think you have to keep up with the progression of our side of things. I mean, when we were shooting in, you know, 720, it wasn't a big deal, but now we're in 4K, 8K, 12K, well, IMAX.
I'm old enough that, you know, I was doing makeup with the old-fashioned television cameras where we could paint everybody one color and just move on. You know what I'm saying? Or like if it was, you know, we had to do a couple of flesh tones or this and that. And then the day they came in and said, hey, we're switching everything to this newfangled stuff, we went, uh-oh. And we had to spend weeks testing and looking at colors and looking at technique and looking at materials and seeing what would work. So it was a transition from that old style makeup of really painting things like just over the top to being more subtle, and we need more translucency and we need more texture. And we need, you know, and we need to figure out how I can absorb your lighting and, you know, things like that.
Yeah, I got to tell you, as the guy who has had to light your guys' work forever, silicone is so much better to shoot with than latex. I mean,
but you know what? It's also, I think it all comes down to coloration. You know what I'm saying? Because I know some of the greatest artists in the world that do silicone, but paint the hell out of it, and you'd never
it's not
know.
silicone anymore.
No,
Yeah.
but you still, it photographs beautifully.
Oh.
It's what I'm saying is, yes, the material that you make something out of is extremely important.
Yeah.
Extremely important. But a good paint job can save a bad prosthetic. So it's all, and you can trick your lighting with paint. Like I can go, oh crap, that just changed the look, so I have to now paint it. And you can trick translucency. But so it's yes,
Yeah.
the material that the piece is made out of is extremely important, but it really comes down to that paint and that like that, you know.
It's also amazing that sometimes when you don't see the makeup before it's put into where it's supposed to be lit for, you might think that this isn't going to work at all.
Yeah.
But it was tuned and adjusted for the environment and the atmosphere you're going to be shooting it in. And it's really interesting when people see it coming down, they're like, hold on, just give me a second with it. Give me 5 minutes. I'm changing this.
But then on the other side, we'll go out and take a look at the set, see what the lighting is, see what's going, know where we're heading, paint it, go to set. And in that time, we didn't know they added a green gel to the set and this. And all of a sudden we go,
where's your veining?
Oh, crap. And now I go, just paint it orange because that's how it's going to read on the monitor.
You know, the idea how many times, guys, I've watched light FX horribly from underneath. They look from underneath. And when you look underneath, it exaggerates all the texture. Guess what a texture is? Your edges.
Yep. Well, you got to, but you also have to be prepared. Like this is what I tell younger artists coming up. You can't be sentimental. You can't be sentimental about your work. You can't walk out and think, this is my precious. And no, you have to know that you're going to walk on set and you might have to paint it purple.
Yeah.
You might have to put something on it that you didn't want because the monitor and the camera is seeing it different.
You're providing a service for the production itself.
You're there to facilitate them.
Just like
not
us.
the other way around.
Yeah, they're like, no, we want it to look like this. Yeah, but no, we want it to look
And
like
always
this.
remember, you can get your cool pictures of your cool paint job in the makeup room and then do it.
So do you ever collaborate with like Gaff or anybody?
Oh yeah. So what we try and do is like, we design a look and we'll design a look with them that they can see ahead of time and they know what's going on. We will absolutely have a conversation with gaffers, DP, everything. I mean, even down to wardrobe. Well, what are the shirt? Because if it's a red shirt bouncing, you know.
So I once had to shoot something. They didn't tell me it was a neon pink shirt.
Awesome.
Neon pink.
Awesome.
Rips up like no tomorrow. And pink on skin tone alone. Horrifying.
Yeah, but you have to be prepared with all those things because you have to know how to paint it. So we kind of live by like, okay, let's paint it in the makeup room to make it look great, and we get it to where we're happy with it.
They're doing it in daylight, just so you understand.
Yeah, we're trying to do, you know, and then like you get it looking nice, and then you go, okay, we get it to 95%, and then we go, let's get them to set. Throw them on set, and we'll do our last touches there.
Yeah, because what's interesting, what I always found interesting about makeup artists was, and I always know the more experienced makeup artists go to like a window to do the makeup because they're going to like most neutral light.
Well, we want to see different shadows, different lights, different washes, and if you get a view of all those different situations, now you have a better idea of where your paint is going.
Well, you're starting with a neutral standard, right?
Yeah.
But what happens with a lot of times, especially with FX makeup, is it's never a sterile environment. They're going to be put in an atmosphere, a dingy bar, something with fluorescent green lighting. There's some sort of tungsten warmth.
Yeah.
There's always
you're around a bunch of grips. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. That was a joke. That was a joke.
Wait a second. There is the grip. The grip of all grips is in the chat.
I love it. Are you kidding me? Those guys are the best, man.
So
let me tell you what, Matthews, I wouldn't be anywhere in my career without grips backing me up. I'm just telling you that.
He actually has a question. Is there an old style technique that you miss or over it all?
Is there an old style technique?
He loves gluing cereal to zombies, I heard.
Yeah. No, because you know what? I still use the old techniques. We just adapt them. And a lot of times I tell the younger people coming up, it's real easy to go on YouTube or something and look at how it's done now.
Right.
But if you don't know the old techniques, so yeah, I still use those older techniques, but I just adapt them, you know, like that. So I try to incorporate old, new, all that, you know. That's an awesome question, man.
I think that goes for anything. Like even our side of things, right? Like we want to know why film looked the way it did, so when we have to make this look that way, like it's always you got to know where things came from to know where they're going.
Exactly.
There's a lot of questions in the chat. What is going on here? Okay, so Brad's asking, How did you and Seth meet? Was it that Popeye Make of the trade show? It was actually the trade show before that.
Yeah, we met at IMATS.
Yeah, we met at IMATS.
We met at IMATS. Yeah.
He used to run this thing called a museum at IMATS where he would gather from all his peers and colleagues amazing pieces.
So if you came to the trade show, it was a makeup trade show, and one of the things we put together was exactly that, a makeup museum. So each year I try to have different themes and stuff, but I would get stuff from as many artists as I could. The more the merrier. And we literally did that. We put together a museum.
Yeah.
You know, so people could just walk through and check out cool stuff. And we would have artists hanging out in the museum. So like the people that are just being exposed to this could talk, could ask questions, could see something cool, you know? Don't turn your back on me.
I will always turn my back on you.
That is just damn rude.
It was cool because you would actually see the real actual prosthetics that were on film. You would see the actual pieces that were used in set or the
and what we did was the first year, well, not the first year, I think 3 years in, figuring, okay, we're in New York. So I opened it up to Broadway one year. So we had a whole Broadway museum. And what was really cool about that was it wasn't just prosthetics and this. We had design sheets from, you know, all these shows and wigs. And it was wigs and makeup and designs. And it was fun. It was a cool thing. And I'm a makeup nerd. I'm a self-proclaimed makeup nerd. I love talking to people about makeup. I love seeing what people are doing. I love the history of makeup. So that's why doing that was so much fun for me, because it was more self-serving. I got to hang with that piece. I got to take pictures of it, and
I'll say this, aside from maybe fashion, FX people and that community probably have more of a respect for what came before than anywhere else.
Oh, yeah.
The referentials that you guys do, like, oh, this is a take on this.
Yeah.
Or this is a modern version of that. You know how many times I've heard that or something like that?
If you get a bunch of makeup effects people in a room, they'll all start talking about which designer did you like? Well, that piece was this. And we're all the same because we truly love makeup.
You have to, for the amount of hours you guys put in, the hand sculpting that you guys do. It's just insane.
You can't be afraid to learn it. Learn it.
Brad's also asking, how has the makeup evolved from HD to 4K video? Would that change from video to photo?
The makeup's, we're in a very interesting place in our business where makeups legitimately are evolving every day. Where we didn't have to paint so much texture years ago, we're now upping the texture. We're adding things. We're looking for easier places to bring edging to, things like that, because we got to be worried about
edges.
That grab.
Are everything to me.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about what affects your light, the direction, the type, the diffusion, hard, soft, whatever.
Yeah.
Everything comes down to those edges.
Oh yeah. And it's something we always chase, and it's something we make sure that we're ahead of. And we just, because if it's not good, you're like, well, all right, well, now we have to deal with that.
Yeah. Usually I'm the one that's got to come and figure out how to, it's usually the fill light that, you watch my FX demo on the events channel if you want. Craig's asking, how do you handle the business side of things? Do you have people or handle all yourself?
It's all me. It's all me. And there are shops obviously out there that are big, massive, 50 people working, doing dinosaurs and stuff that have full teams. Well, my team is me. I taught myself budgeting and estimating, invoicing, all this stuff. So it's me. It's my business. It's what I love. So I'm the accounting department. But it's when you start working like this, we're doing smaller jobs now. So it's only me, a person or two, this and that. So it's, I'm doing a lot more. But when you have multiple people in a shop and you're running a bunch of different jobs, there are days I never sculpted because that has to happen. I got to get this. There's another Zoom.
You're the guy.
And you just go. And it's the managerial stuff. Some people hate. I kind of like it.
Well, you delegate to who you know, what their strengths are, who you trust.
Exactly.
That's a great hair person will work forever. In FX.
You know what? But that kind of goes to Stan Winston, one of the greatest artists. He said years ago, one of my favorite quotes, hire great people and let them do what they know how to do. So that's what it is. Surround yourself with good people. Surround yourself.
It's funny because they're saying I'm fired up. The thing is about Josh is these are the effects makeup artists you hope to be around, not the ones that are anxious about what they did, worried about every little tiny thing.
We're all anxious about what we do, but some of us hide it.
Yeah, but if you're not amped about it, I'm not amped to shoot.
Yeah,
right. I just get through it.
I got into this business because I love it and I want to have fun and I want to enjoy it. if I wanted to be stressed, I'd go be an accountant or something. I don't know. But like when I get to set, I try to make sure we bring a very light, fun, easygoing energy.
They got someone in their chair for 6 hours.
You know,
you don't want to be you don't want to be.
But even on set and stuff like that, because it is a stressful thing and it is a tense thing, and somebody's paying you to deliver this.
And it's 2 a.m.
So at any turn, this can become a stress bomb, but you just can't let it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just nice to be able to go in there and flow with things and be happy. And I want to have fun. And I want to have a good time.
And you get to do this. You get to do this.
That's my thing. I don't take for granted the fact that I wake up every day and I go, this is what I wanted to do since I was 9, and I'm leaving the house to go do that right now. And why am I going to be miserable? You know, why? You know, look. Somebody once said, "Oh, you're a really cool artist." I go, "Stop calling me an artist." I said, "I just happen to make my living with art." I said, "There are people out there that I consider artists, but they're a little more serious about their art. I'm kind of to quote a comic book, I'm kind of like the clown prince." Whenever somebody asks me, laugh and have fun and and have a good time, but delivering your product is first and foremost.
I always describe this guy as a real life Fred Flintstone. I mean, everything about the guy is real. But the reality is that So Josh is a key makeup artist. He's a department head. Your demeanor sets the tone for your entire team, which then dominoes to everybody else.
Absolutely.
So don't ever forget that. This is a good one. Tony Pags. How you doing, Tony? Hope you're well.
Hey, Tony.
You say Tony to anyone in the tri-state area.
It just comes out, man. Yeah.
Dude, makeup artist.
Do you know where Tony came from? When the Italians were coming over, they stamped to New York. Anyway, go ahead. I could say
that was coming. All right. Do makeup artists prefer zero retouching done by photographers when asked for photos? I'm going to jump first. If I'm looking at someone's book to hire them as a makeup artist, I don't want to see retouching. I want to see what I'm hiring.
Thank you. No, here's what I would like to see. If a photographer is taking pictures of our makeups and things like that, I like to get the raw files. I like to have it untouched. But I also know that this person taking the pictures is an artist in their own right. So
I'm just a monkey with some
but I want to also see what you did with it. So if I can have both versions, that works for me. Dude. Because I also appreciate your work. You know what I'm saying? And photographers' work, because because maybe you put a little shadow or something in there that I didn't think of, or,
Look, the Popeye makeup I shot for him, just so you guys have an idea of context, nobody was going to shoot that. He was on stage and they were just going to that was it. I had to get him to walk over to the set, first of all, which was a nightmare. Everybody took out their phones. So before it even got to me, there's 6 million phone photos already floating around the internet of this thing, right? So when I got him in there, it was silicone. And one of the things about silicone, when you light it, if you drag your light, you can get the first very tiny layer of it to transcend the light. So when you look at it, I don't know if you can tell. If you look at the cheek lines, see the subtle rim? It's there, so you're actually getting to see the stubble, the wrinkle. Yeah. You get to have that little bit without
and all
it
that
overtaking.
has to be put in. We have to put all that in. I always say this. I always like to say I paint things in a way that the camera can bite. I want the camera to bite into something. And you know what I'm saying? And this is what I go back to saying, don't be precious about what you do. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. Be proud of it. You respect it. You love what you're doing and this and that, but understand you need to give these people something to do. Grab it and be willing to change it. Don't be locked in. Change that thing. Flow with it.
In the end, you want a great result for whatever you're actually working on. And I think some people, I don't want to say worse, but some of the people I've had the most difficult working with as an makeup artist have leaned on me for whatever they're trying to achieve, but it's not your end result.
Oh, listen,
it's a collaborative.
There's not a makeup artist in the world, and if anybody denies this, they're lying. At some point in their career, they didn't walk up to the DP on set and go, help. And it's just because you saw what's happening and you need them to go, gotcha. And they'll ding, 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 ding. We're like, we're good. And I'm not saying it happens all the time, but I'm saying every makeup artist on the planet has done that. I don't care who you are.
You've had a long storied career so far and you've had some amazing creations. Forget about the level of production.
Sure.
What has been your favorite? What have been some of your favorite that you've pulled off concept wise, design wise?
effects stuff. And what I mean by effects stuff, I differentiate effects and makeup effects, because effects stuff are things that move or bleed or this or prop.
Yeah, there's also prop work. Don't forget that. Like
we built a 4-foot sphincter to shove an actor through for a job that I'm pretty proud of. I gotta be honest with you. However, one of the makeups that I'm most proud of, and I'm sure there's people around me that are sick of hearing this, there was a movie we did a couple years ago called Jules about this alien, and it was head to toe prosthetics, but this very angelic. So there was nowhere to hide anything, nowhere to cover anything. And that is a very proud moment for me. You know, it's on my Instagram.
Is it on your Instagram?
Yeah, man. But like,
where is that?
That's I just go. It's there somewhere, man.
Oh, great.
You're gonna have to look for it, brother.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, so there are differences, you know, like there's a shot of it over there, but with the shirt on, but there is a full body shot of it as well. Yeah. Like if you look at that where it says trailer.
Yeah. So something like.
Yeah. Whatever.
Anyway.
Whatever. So that's something I'm really proud of. But then there's effects. A lot of this and some of the stuff that we've pulled off that I'm really proud of is stuff that you've never seen or like thought that wasn't a makeup, because it just blended into the scene and it's gone. You know?
So for a while ago, people were wondering like, why aren't you posting more makes? Like, I'm like, you won't even realize what I'm posting.
Yeah.
Like, and that what was so cool about it. Like, you don't realize the transition, the subtleties.
Yeah.
So like one of the most amazing makeups in my opinion was actually Maleficent. But it
was beautiful.
It was beautiful, but it was not
subtle.
Yes, it's cheekbones, but they were perfect.
It didn't need to be a full. It was just perfect. It was just perfect. You know, some things that you get to come up with are so silly that you don't think they're an achievement. But for a show, we had to make somebody look like their prison tattoos were in the middle of being removed.
Oh, interesting.
So we make tattoos all the time and we put these on. They're fun to do. But I had to make this look like that laser. So you couldn't see it, but you had to scar it. And it was just, that was like a cool little achievement. So, and again, that's something that you don't look at as a big makeup effect, but to us, that took us weeks to figure this out and get it to,
insane.
you know.
You know what's crazy is when you work with a makeup artist and from zero to concept, you got to look at what they inundate themselves with. I mean, they call it a morgue, and they fill it with just images of horrifying things that they absorb to then recreate. It's crazy.
I did a couple of movies that it was all like Russian mob and, you know, and like bad people and Nazis, but we had to make all these tattoos. Mm-hmm. So I had to have all this research for like the Aryans and the Nazis. I was like, I don't want this shit on my computer. So I literally have a separate hard drive with tattoo ideas for all like, I'm like,
Fernando,
I don't want this on my computer, you know?
Fernando, I'm sorry.
Why? What's the matter? What'd I do?
So far, we're
right, no, we're good. YouTube's fine. YouTube's fine.
We're all adults here.
Come on.
No, it's just really amazing how much how much makeup artists.
I love that guy. Look, to be proud of a 4-foot sphincter.
There you go.
I am very proud.
That,
what do you want me to tell you?
What I've always been impressed by makeup artists, and I mean really good makeup artists, the ones you want to work with, is how much they inundate themselves in with whatever they're doing at that moment. It's an obsession point that's almost like, so how do you go from obsession to the next obsession? And I'm sure they overlap and stack.
For us, you very much might be this way too. I can't wait for the next job. So you know what I'm saying? So like, I'm in this job now. I'm here and I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Then the phone rings and you go, ooh, what else am I going to get to play with? So that's how your mind, like at least mine, is always, I'm excitable. I'm like a kid with a new toy. And I'm like, okay, so I need that new thing coming in all the time. I need that change. I need that new challenge. My wife always says to me, I have no idea how you're doing what you're doing because you've never done that before. I'm like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, it's just like us, right? We start with the principles and we build from there. You have to have a strong foundation of skills and then you figure it out. And
figure it out.
All these years, that thing from that alien translates to that thing from this, that injury from that translates to this.
What we were saying before with some of the older techniques, like, look, you know, when I was a kid, I would make things out of derma wax, which isn't a material you would use on set because it melts and things like that. But the techniques you learn from that can be translated to sculpting. The techniques I learned from cotton and latex are translated into textural sculpt, things like that. Everything you learn every old technique, everything will translate.
Yeah, man.
It just carries through. And if you have that stuff in your arsenal, when you're on set and it's 15 hours in and everything goes to hell and you go, what do we do? You go, I know. Get me a roll of paper towel. You know,
Dude.
you know, and it's just
I once had a makeup artist, Jet. She wanted to. There was something missing to the makeup, and she walked out of the room in 20 minutes. She had a gelatin appliance.
that's what I mean.
Gelatin.
You just figure things out. You just figure it out.
It was just awesome.
And that I think is the fun part. You know.
I mean, how cool was that call you get that you're going to be doing Marvel Daredevil?
Oh yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Daredevil was amazing. Daredevil was amazing.
That's a benchmark show.
Punisher was amazing. Like those two. I mean, I did all those shows, and they were all just incredible. I'll give you.
Iron Fist. Even Iron Fist.
You know what? It was all an incredible experience shooting it because I'll give you an example, and this goes back to the child that I am and the nerd that I am. One night, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I haven't slept in a couple of days. We're on a rooftop in Brooklyn. I turn to my left. There's Daredevil in full regalia. I turn to my right. There's the Punisher in full regalia.
You know exactly what scene this is.
I look in front of me. There's Elektra in full regalia. And in the middle of them is 50 ninjas, right? I looked at everything I was looking at, and I just started laughing, and I was 12 years old again. Yeah. And I was just like, this is the best night ever, you know, because you just got to play in that world, you know?
These organic
moments. And yes, even Iron Fist.
Yeah. These organic moments, man. I got to tell you, I did a job. I was on like my 12th hour.
Ah, there's my cousin, Kimmy. Kimberly DeYoung. What's up, Kim?
Yeah. I was on my 12th hour. I was sweating my brains out, and I went to grab my camera, and I actually had I didn't have a shirt on.
Oh, what are you doing with your hand?
Well, this is what happened. My arm was stuck to my torso because of zombie blood I was covered in.
Zombie blood.
And I just said to myself, what other photographer gets to have this minute?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, you know what? This is as hard as it is.
You know what it is? We work a lot of hours, like you. We work long hours. We're all over the place. There's times where you're just, especially as a shop owner, even if I lay down, I'm like, well, tomorrow this has to happen and that has to go and this has to go and blah, blah, blah. So you get run down, you get exhausted, and you start to get that little tinge of like, so one day, here's a funny story. I make pieces for Harry Potter here on Broadway. So one day I'm sitting outside the theater and I smell bad and I haven't slept in days and I'm sitting there with a bag of prosthetics and I'm just like, I just want, my life stinks.
Wilma!
Right? And then I hear to the right of me, Harry! And I turn and this little girl is running up the sidewalks ahead of her parents and she comes up to the poster and she hugs it and her parents are now taking photos. And I watched that whole thing happen, and I immediately thought to myself, "You're an asshole." I was like, "Look at her." I was like, "And you're gonna sit here and try to complain for 2 minutes?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm a good guy. I'm good." You know.
So what?
Sorry about cursing, by the way.
Can I ask you about volume? So like,
sure.
Instead of Broadway,
I mean, I'm sure I'm at a good volume. I'm probably
no. Come on. Broadway versus like a TV series, what's the volume? I know that the concepts are different, but like when it comes to like repeating an appliance, like how many you have to make over and over again?
Yeah.
Like what is that volume?
Broadway is, if we're doing something for Broadway, those prosthetics are repeated for the entire run.
So what's that number? Like what's something like that?
Depends on the show. Sometimes a piece, if it doesn't need to have a blended edge or something like that, that piece, if we make it tough enough, could last 3 months. And they just reuse it.
Interesting. Some
pieces for shows only get 2 runs out of it, and we just keep repeating it. We keep having to make them. So it all depends on the piece. It all depends on the show. It depends on what it has to be. Sometimes we try, but Broadway is a totally different design than TV or film because we have to start designing it with repeatable in mind.
Right.
So it has to be repeatable, but there's a certain level. Like you can't just, it has to be fast. You can't mess around, but you also have to take into consideration distances that people are, well, what can they see and what can't they see?
What can you get away with?
Yeah. Literally. And the paint jobs are different and things like, so it's like, so I love it. I do a bunch of shows. I really enjoy Broadway because it's just something you get your hands in, you get to play with some characters, but that piece gets repeated. And it's like, whereas film and TV, it's only repeated the amount of times it has to play that episode. And then, I mean, unless it's that character for an entire run of a show, but if it's a movie, it's only like, oh, so like Jules, what we were just talking about. She had to be in that makeup 41 times. After that, you know, so that was it, but that was the run of the movie.
Right.
So then, you know, things like that. But for Broadway, as long as the show is running, I'll keep, you know, just keep making them.
And then you might have reshoots. You don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Or promos or, you know, like all that stuff, you know?
And then there's also context. Like Saturday Night Live, you get away with some stuff because it's a joke. Right?
Yeah.
Like if something starts not looking totally 100%.
It's what it is.
It is what it is. That's one of those New York sayings you're ever going to hear.
That's what it is.
Tony's asking, as a photographer, where do you start finding makeup artists, makeup effects to photograph schools, trade shows? So it's just like any other thing. Start small. So if there's someone, the thing about FX artists is it's not like beauty. An old age makeup is not the same job as an alien or the same job as an injury, something realistic versus surreal and all other sorts of things, right? So they want to build out their book with concepts.
Yeah.
Find the people that haven't gotten examples of their work.
Well, I'm going to say this too. There's no makeup artist out there that doesn't want photos of their work. So if you're willing to, like, let's say you're a young photographer coming in and trying to build your portfolio, look at people on Instagram, contact them and say, hey, would you like us to shoot your makeups? You're not going to get a no.
Just start
You're
small.
literally not going to get a no.
Just know that the more inexperienced the makeup artist might be, the longer that day might get.
Yeah. But you know what? You're building your portfolio. They're building their portfolio.
You got to have leniency on both sides given the situation. But if you're trying to build out and then you want to show to a more established artist something you've shot, then you have to understand, like the makeup that we shot might have been $5,000 for that Popeye. I mean, I don't even. All right, no, it's fine. Well, it ended up. Just so you guys know, it ended up as the
$900 million.
It went far. It ended up as the packaging for the color palette.
For a palette, yeah.
And I see it all the time, and I'm never gonna lose this thing down.
That's cool, man. It's also hanging, the cover of that magazine, just to let you know, it's also hanging in my bathroom. So every time I use the facilities, I go, oh, Seth. Seth.
I got to tell you, no, but for real though, I wish we shot more. I mean, I feel like
That's okay. We'll do something else.
We'll do something.
We'll do something else.
Someone in this chat saying you must have a crazy Halloween.
You're going to laugh your ass off? I don't do shit on Halloween.
So let me explain. Yeah. Halloween is when the world gets to be in that world.
Well, you know what it is? We're doing, I usually do a lot of stuff for other people for Halloween. Getting this done, getting that done.
It's a job, man.
And by the time, and I say it every year, I'm like, man, one of these years, I'm going to do a cool design of my house and it's going to be a ball and I'm going to have a good time. And then we're working on sets and I'm like, oh, hey, you want to just go get some pumpkins? You know?
Well, you know what it is? Like everyone always says like, oh, Halloween must be crazy for you. You have all these makeup artists. Like, I don't want to be in a makeup. That's my day off. Let the normies come into our world for a minute.
On the other side, though, I love being in prosthetics.
I don't mind. No, first of all, life casting was the most relaxing thing I have ever been through in my life. Ray Schaefer did it for me.
Oh, yeah.
I was falling asleep. I've never felt like I wanted to fall asleep.
I'll tell you a funny story. So we're casting this actor, and whenever we cast somebody, you talk to them the whole time. You say, like, you're doing good, and their response is always like, mm-hmm. You know, like that. So you're talking as you're going, you're doing good. You touch. All right, you're doing good. So we're casting this actor, and all of a sudden I go, hey, man, you doing good? Dead silence. And I go, oh. So I'm like, okay.
Are they covered at this point?
So I go, they're covered, right? And I go, hey, how we doing in there? Because you don't want somebody freaking out or claustrophobic.
It gets very claustrophobic.
Yeah. So I go, how you doing in there? Dead silence. And now I'm like, I'm looking at the other people. I'm like, I lean in to check them, and I hear this. And I'm like, he's asleep. Just go, wrap it. You know?
Do you ever go to Comic-Con at all here?
I did a demo one year at Comic-Con. That was a lot of fun. And then you're gonna laugh. I got an opportunity. Howard Berger, he owns KMBFX. He got a
Walking Dead guys.
He did the movie Ted 2. And he hired a couple of us from New York to go do these makeups at Comic-Con. That was kind of a fun day because we got to run around Comic-Con with just aliens and stuff like that. So that was fun. So I've only gone as a demo. I worked there and like that. I haven't but you know, I haven't, you know.
It's fun, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny about Howard Berger, and I can't remember where I was. I'm sorry. It was some kind of conference or show or some kind, but he's sitting there and no one's talking to him. But then there was this YouTuber makeup artist, and the line was huge. And I'm like, do you have any idea who Howard Berger is?
Yeah, like go talk. You like makeup? Yeah, go talk to the guy with Oscars.
Oscars, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I think it was Greg Cannon too.
Oh yeah.
Who we just lost.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, that was the makeup artist for Benjamin Button.
Benjamin Button, Lost Boys, Cocoon. I mean, the list just go.
Stacks.
Yeah.
And some of the biggest and most incredible things that you've been affected by, people have no idea who did it.
Yep.
It's amazing. So I think
except us.
Yeah, but in this era, you have a chance, right? In this era, you get to share.
Yeah.
You have a platform.
But what's funny about that is with all these platforms, everything like that, sometimes I'll go do talks at schools and I'll say Dick Smith or somebody.
Dick Smith.
And some of them go, and I'll literally pause and I'll go, if you're in a makeup school and you don't know who Dick Smith is, stop right now and go look. And it's happened. I go, how do you not? Like
the godfather of it all.
Yeah. But I mean,
it all.
like, so you're saying that we have all this exposure and all this access, but some people don't really look into that access as much as they should.
I think it's crazy. You know, we always have people on here. I'm like, you're like the one in a billionth person that's doing the one thing you're doing. You should document it and put it out there. People realize, like, it's crazy to me. And I think that.
But I'm old enough, like, so I'm 54 years old, right? So I'm still the guy that goes, oh, I have to post something, right? And figuring all this stuff out, it's funny, man.
Well, a lot of guys in your generation that I've given photos to, I check back. I'm like, did you not do anything with these photos? No, I have them.
I have them.
What? I'm like, did you not do any?
No,
I gave you.
Them. We're good.
Well,
you got to remember, we came from the old school of I used to carry around my portfolio. So I would carry around a book with all my photos in it and go meet with the producer and lay it on the table and go, here, with a resume, and let's tell me what you think. So that's the world that we're, but nowadays, I don't think, I mean, is there anybody out there walking around with a black leather portfolio? I mean, some people maybe.
So I used to do that. I still have it. I hand silkscreened my cover. I wanted to make an impression. I wanted to remember holding my book.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I look at that thing, I'm like, wow, like that's the work I used to
People like, you send a resume? I'm like, IMDb. And
no, he just goes, do you not know who I am?
No, that's not true at all.
Excuse me. Do you not know? But let me ask you, I know you have your own line of blood. What's it called, by the way?
No Trace.
No Trace.
And the reason is because it leaves no trace. Because I got tired of actors leaving pink with everybody's blood.
As a photographer, one of the worst things about fake blood is the ones that have a magenta aftershade.
Yeah.
So when it gets thin, it's neon pink.
So my blood, not to hawk it, but my blood, it's mouth safe, skin safe. It washes out of pretty much every textile you can imagine. It washes off of every surface, and it's safe. It's and it washes. So that's what the whole point is.
Do you do off-the-shelf prosthetics? Like, do you make like a series of prosthetics to put out there?
I don't. I've been asked to a couple of times, and
it's like why not?
It's like I might. At some point, I'm probably going to have to come to terms with it. But for right now, I don't right now. But let's just say it's not in the thought process, and things could be happening.
On my desk by 3.
Yeah,
let's go. But I mean,
it's there.
For me, that's like if you're not working, you always have some outlet to kind of.
Yeah, and like I said, people are always like, "Oh man, you sell your own blood, you must be rolling in it." I'm like, what am I selling, a car? I'm selling blood. I have a very limited audience,
So can I ask you, where do you think we're going as far as this industry goes? Because now I felt like it was always the same forever. They've tried new technology. They went right back to sculpting and life casting.
Yeah.
So we're at scanning. We're at 3D printing. Talk to me about the 3D printing.
All of it is amazing. And we're scanning now and printing stuff and milling stuff out. And we're doing all that. But there is timing issues that you have to think about.
So we were talking about, explain this to them, because
it's huge. So scanning's fast. And it's great on the actor. Like if I have to do a life cast of somebody, I need 2 hours with the person. We put a ball cap, we do their head. A scan, the actor can sit in the chair, we cover their hair, this and that, and I might need 20 minutes.
Yeah, so just to boil this down, a life cast is literally making a negative of someone.
We're making a mold of their head.
Right, so it comes apart, then you have like this gap space that you fill with plaster to then make basically a sculpture of somebody.
Well, we take that positive and that's what we sculpt on.
Right.
So we have an exact duplicate of whatever body part it is we're building the prosthetic for. Face, arm, back, whatever.
I mean, he's done everything. We were just talking about a pregnant woman that he casted. Baby's moving while she's being casted. Like, that's crazy.
So So those are the life casting techniques are something you need to master because it's a very delicate process. It's you don't want to, you got to remember there's this person sitting in the chair that you're about to put materials on their head. So you got to be considerate of that. So scanning is very good for them because it's fast, it's easy, it's non-invasive, things like that. But then there's cleanup. So you got to take it just like LifeCast. You take that to the computer. You got to do a little digital cleanup. You got to do this, and then you print. Now, there are prints that come out fast, 24 hours, maybe less, depending on the size of the piece.
3D print.
But if you're doing a full head, it's a day, maybe 2 days. Whereas if I'm doing episodic, I have 7 days to churn out an episode. So every 7 days, we're in the next episode. Every 7 days, next episode. I don't have 2 days to kill just getting to a life cast, just getting to that positive, or even a day and a half to kill just getting to that positive. So for some jobs, we still do it the old way because I can do a life cast to somebody in the morning, run those molds, and be sculpting by the end of the day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But for a film and stuff, it's nice. We can do scans. The other great part is we're doing scans now for people around the country because sometimes you're on a job where the actor you're dealing with is not there, right?
I'm going to try to put the photos of me getting life casted on here so you guys can have an idea of what I'm even talking about here. But
what I'm saying is sometimes you're on a job where the actor you're dealing with is not there. So you'll call somebody in Chicago or LA and be like, hey, can you do this life cast and ship it to me? Blah, blah, blah. The great thing about scans now is you do the scan and you email the link. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But it's crazy how people just assume, like, I'm not kidding you, like probably 10 years ago, every makeup artist I was talking was like, one day, like real soon, we're just going to put up someone down and print right on their face.
Yeah.
And it just,
no.
it
I mean,
goes
look,
back.
we have the capability now to print sculptures, molds. I mean, we did a test years ago with this artist, Michael DeFeo and myself did this test.
Yeah.
You know, it's an incredible artist. But we did a test where he digitally sculpted a nose and a mold. We ended up putting an article in Neil Gordon's magazine for a while, Prosthetics magazine, and it works and it's amazing and it's great and we learn. So it's just, as far as I'm concerned, it's another technique to add to the arsenal. It's another way to evolve, but you have to understand your timing. And it's just like every other technique or tool. Does it work here or does it not work here?
Well, you also got to just make sure all else fails, you still are on the next thing. Even if it doesn't take off, you learned what could have been, or if someone wants that process, you can still do it. You never know what's going to be the next evolution of what you're doing.
There is a time lapse of a life cast, I think on my Instagram page, if you're looking for one, but I don't know where I don't know. You'd have to spend the time looking through. You would think as a show host, you might have done a little research or like prep or anything.
And now remember why I haven't talked to you in a while.
Did you ever see the old sketch with what was the guy's name for Ed Preston? He played a radio host, but he never looked at he's always like this.
Oh. That was on Wayne's World.
Yeah. It's kind of what I'm dealing with right now.
I'm trying to do this. I should have had these loaded. I didn't even think about it.
You know, usually the guest is very nice to the host and stuff, but I'm not. I'm not a nice guy.
Someone is asking, what's the longest makeup you've had to do? Ooh. I feel like
6 hours.
But you also have to do prep work.
But we whittled that makeup down to 4. And by the end of the shoot, we were able to get it down to 3. You know what I'm saying? So and it's hard because
but it doesn't start in the chair though. We're talking about pre-painting things.
Pre-painted, but when you're designing a makeup, you really do have to think about, again, there's a human being sitting in that chair. You're not just putting something on a mannequin. So you got to be considerate of them, their time, their feelings, what they're going through. Because I don't want to keep somebody in the chair for 7 hours because they still have a full day of work to go do.
That's the thing that people don't realize with the talent is their day doesn't even start till they're done.
Yeah.
And I can't get going until they're done.
Yeah.
So you guys are the first ones in, last ones out, and even working all night.
Years ago, I helped out on a movie where we started the makeups. We had 30 people in makeups. We started the makeups at midnight, finished at 8 a.m. They still had a 20-hour shoot day.
It's nuts.
So you have to think about people when you're designing stuff and, all that.
All right, so I just got them emailed to me. I'm running like 16 things on the same Wi-Fi, guys. I'm sorry.
That's what he says, but he's just looking at weird. He's looking at weird pictures over there. I'm just saying.
You're just saying. Is there some personal project you want to do? Because when I go to Son of Monsterpalooza, not Monsterpalooza, it's what's cool about it is you see all the artists and what they want to work on their own.
You know what's so funny? As I was talking to my buddy Jared about this like a while ago. I guess it's just because of the way I work and things like that. I said, it's really sad. I haven't sculpted anything for fun, and I couldn't tell you how long because I've just been working.
It's every pose.
And I'm like, I have like 4 sculptures sitting in the shop on a shelf that are like I'll finish that. But I love painting. Like I love painting. So if I can sometimes I just keep silicone heads in the shop. And if it's a Saturday afternoon or something, I'll just go in and paint something and, kill it. And what's not, and like that I kind of do, but yeah, I'm sure there's a personal project I want to do. I just haven't thought about it.
What do you think's more crucial, application or paint? Really curious because I have my thoughts on it.
Well, here's what it is. We're even going to go further back than that. Everything you do affects the next step. If I do a garbage life cast, I'm going to have a garbage mold. If I have a garbage mold, the sculpture's not going to be right. If the sculpture's not right, your appliance, you see where I'm going with this? Where every step affects the next. So I've seen beautiful paint jobs bail out a horrible piece.
Absolutely.
On the other side, I've seen the world's most beautiful application get murdered by a horrible paint job. So every step affects the next step.
But I feel if the application's clean, you can always go over the paint a little bit. You can't fix the application.
Yeah. Well, you can, but like I said, you just have to be conscious of every single step.
Every time there's a bad edge, you make a compromise to something else towards to the final product.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime that changed lighting, that was awesome because there was just some wrecked edge.
And I see a trend that I'm just not like, people are always like covering things in a material we call Bondo. And it's like, no, you got to blend it.
Now, my favorite is just throw some blood on it.
Oh, a lot of times you can't.
Just why?
Okay. The job Jules I was telling you about, she had to be ethereal.
Right.
So there was no hair. There wasn't a scar. There wasn't blood. There was nothing to hide. I always tell makeup artist students, I always say the 2 hardest makeups you will ever do in your life are a bald cap and a nose. And I'm going to tell you why.
Wow.
This is my opinion.
Okay, wow.
Monsters, put a scar on it. Zombie,
no one knows what it's
throw
supposed to look
dirt
like.
and blood on it.
Yeah.
Who cares? A bald cap is right there. And if it doesn't match, you're screwed.
To me.
A nose is in the middle of the face. What are you going to do? Put hair around it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think if you can become really adept at a bald cap and a nose and matching skin tones and blending, don't put a nose on and then cover the entire head with paint. Blend it. So that's why I say those are the hardest makeups you'll do because it's there. It's for everyone to see. There's no hiding it.
The 2 hardest makeups I tell makeup artists are anything that we know what actually looks like in real life. Old age makeups, when that's a makeup versus it's fooling you. And then the other one is a referential makeup. Anytime someone brought me a Freddy Krueger, but it's not Robert Englund.
Yeah.
It's not going to look like him. So do something based, do something referent, but don't try to recreate.
No. But that's why I know it sounds funny to say that a bald cap and a nose, these 2 little things. But like I said, if I cover somebody in 11 prosthetics and they're a monster,
no one knows this.
Throw dirt on it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that's the same. But I'll say this. That also accounts for when I get sent like portfolios and stuff, people send me their images. Everything's covered in blood. And I'll email them back right away and go, send me the photos before the blood. I want to see your application and paint because blood hides.
It tries to.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
Also, there's really bad blood that does not hide anything.
Yeah, but like I said, we want to see your application. We want to see the art of what you do,
So, guys, this is me getting life casted, just so you have an idea.
Yeah.
So that's me.
That's alginate.
That's me with the plaster bandages, what do they do?
Yeah.
And he drew a Venom face on it for me.
Of course. That's what we always do.
Love the Venom face.
Yep.
But that was so warm.
I do
quiet.
I do cross eyes with the tongue sticking out and usually a bubble that just says duh. That's my thing. He might do Venom. I do dumb guy.
He did Venom for me because I'm a big Venom guy. But I gotta tell you how quiet it was in there. No one's bothering you. You got a guy watching your back.
And then it's just kind of like it gets a little warm. You're in there by yourself. And you can just tell some people don't. I've had actors that I'm never going to repeat their names that we've had to chase around a room and hold down to a chair. You know.
So let me ask you: are you one of the guys that does the straws in the nose thing?
No, you don't do straws in the nose.
I've seen that, and I'm like, I would
It's
not
so
want that.
dangerous. Well, not only is it dangerous, God forbid you bump into that thing walking around. You've just shoved it. And also, if you shove something in a person's nose, that it's going to distort your cast.
Interesting.
It's going to distort it.
Yeah.
I mean, they used to put straws in years ago, but I think it's dangerous. God forbid I'm putting bandages on. I hit that friggin' thing.
It's so weird to
you know
that kind of stuff. What's something that's been happening that's not one of your makeups? That's a concept you've seen recently that's really impressed you. I feel like Penguin has been like a benchmark makeup for everyone, but what's something that's not, you know?
I mean, the Penguin. I mean that is benchmark. But you know what I really loved? I really loved this artist by the name of Barry Gower. He did everything for like Game of Thrones and things like that. His Last of Us Infected are so beautiful. They're so beautiful that like
The fungal infection.
they're not. If you look, there's paint and art and sculpture. You can read the art in them. They're not just a bunch of stuff stuck to somebody. So that's really good. Of course, the Substance that just came out, that was amazing. All the stuff that was in that was incredible. But even just looks, there's jobs out there that are like, you look at a film and you go, wow, this film just looked beautiful. Like, I mean, just your normal look. So try to look at everything. You know what I'm saying?
How do you feel like makeups like Voldemort, where they mix CG with the practical?
Look, it's like I was saying before, every tool has a place.
Okay.
All right. I don't think that you should do just this one. Combine them. Do them both. You know, so I think that was the perfect look to use digital because you wanted to get rid of it, you know. Although they did do it with the red mask, you know, in Captain America, but whatever. No, but you know what I'm saying? That's a perfect marriage. And I'm a big fan of collaboration. So there's a technique, there's a new tool, there's a this. Let's use them. Let's get together, man. Let's come up with a cool product.
All right, so let me ask you this. Has there been a CG creation that you said this would have been better practical?
90%. No.
Because we've seen, like, for instance, we saw the Hulk as practical. We've seen the Hulk as
Yeah.
CG. White Walkers, I've seen as CG. I've seen them as practical.
I mean, for me, it's just because of what I do. I think everything's better practical, but that's just me.
I think everything's better practical.
But I love CG as well because those people are like, look, you can complain about it all you want. They're artists and they're doing.
Oh no, they're amazing
and they're incredible. And there are some things that just lend themselves better to CG.
The thing that kills me with some of it is not the artists that did the CG. They do the simulated lighting for the environment on it, and then it kills it for me.
And then it kills it, yeah.
You know?
And then there are things you see, these massive budget movies that you go, oh, this looks like a cartoon. But that happens with makeup too.
Bro.
You see these massive budget movies and you go, what happened there? But so there's good and there's bad with every level.
Oh man,
With every department, every level, we're human, man.
Did you see The Flash, the movie?
No, I didn't.
The CG babies were so weird. There was just CGI babies everywhere. And I'm like, what is going on over here? Or She-Hulk. It looked like they didn't even finish it. I was like, what are we doing? But there is no.
Listen, and the other thing, you know what? I mean, look, there's probably a reason for that. But however, you know, people ask me all the time, oh, you must be pissed when you see a bad makeup. And I go, well, I'm not. And I'll tell you why. Because you don't know the story behind that. You might look at that and go, oh, I can see the edge. Boy, that makeup artist screwed it up. Whereas that was hour 18. They didn't give them a last look. They've been underwater all day sweating and this and that. And that's when they decided to punch in for a close-up. So I just, you know, there's a lot of stories behind things that people see are bad that it might not be really that something was that bad. But there's a reason. Yeah. You know? Yeah. I don't want to be that guy to be like, yeah, stupid makeup, it sucks. But like I said, that guy might have been awake for 3 days. Who knows?
You don't know. So there's a lot of question in the chat about AI. Where do you see that playing a role? Is it anything you're using as a tool? Do you think it's taking over anything from your world?
Yeah, I think eventually, not right now, but I mean, look, I'm the same place that everybody else is. I think eventually AI is going to take larger things over. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, massive creatures and things like that. I think that's where it's going to go. I think AI is going to start getting into the design areas.
Oh yeah, like
and things like that. I think there'll always be a need for smaller stuff. But I don't want to be the doom and gloom. But I just, you know, the days of building a life-size T-Rex, I think, are gone.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
The original Jurassic Park was so special.
Yeah.
I mean, I just saw like there hasn't been a really good dress park in a long time.
Yeah.
But when you saw the behind the scenes, or even when they made the Queen Alien,
Oh yeah.
like blows your mind.
But my favorite part of the Queen Alien is the garbage bag test they did before they built the Queen Alien. If you ever get a chance, just go to YouTube and look up Queen Alien garbage bag test. It's so cool. It's so fun. Because it was like a proof of concept, you know?
One of my favorite creatures of all time, without a doubt, is Predator.
Okay.
And even the story of it with Stan Winston.
You mean the original Red, Jean-Claude Van Damme?
No, but even that story, right? He designed on a plane coming over this thing.
It's so cool. It's just like, because they had to come up with a proof of concept. So they're like, let's get some wood, let's get some garbage bags, let's get in there, let's see. It's just, but that's again what I'm saying. You have a group of creative people trying to solve problems and figure things out,
So, yeah.
Look at that. And they went, okay, this is how we make this work.
They spent a few dollars before they spent tens of thousands of dollars to build a monster.
Exactly.
I got to tell you, though, I wish there was a practical Venom.
Yeah. I think it's just a hard creature. I mean,
someone told me that there was.
There was. In one of them, there's a shot. I think in one of the Spider-Man, there's a shot of a makeup or it's a mask or something like that, just of like the face. But I mean, the thing's,
So what I heard was...
the thing's a symbiote, man. You're not going to...
Well, what I heard was that there was a puppet. It was going to cost too much to operate. So what if you get, which no one has, a special edition of Spider-Man 3 on the 13th disc?
Yeah.
There's a gallery of it.
Well, the money nowadays isn't the same either. And I don't mean like amounts. I mean like back in the day, Jobs would go to like 3-4 effect shops and go, everyone is going to build this. We're going to see which one is that we like better. And they would pay for that.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you're fighting for $12. I got to get some paper towels. Can you give me?
And they would probably repurpose that into another film. Whatever they made, they probably would repurpose.
But it's like, that stuff is but that's okay. Again, get out there and make something. That's all I'm saying.
I got to tell you, I thought we were going to have a renaissance for a minute. They were trying to do the dark universe for a minute.
Yeah.
And it fell apart fast and hard.
Yeah.
But I really thought that they were going to go all practical with it. When I heard they were trying to get it going, like, why wouldn't they? Creature of the Black Lagoon, practical. Like, come on, man.
For all of us, we wanted practical. For, the bean counters and stuff like that, they're like, well, why would we do a 6-hour application and 18 hours on set when we can just do it in post?
Yeah.
And it's a hard pill to take sometimes, and especially for a guy like me, but evolution. You roll with it. And then you find a way to become we've even built stuff like I've built a reference head for something for the visual effects people to use. So we're still working together. It's all still working together. Everybody's facing the same problem.
Well, we're changing. The technology is changing faster than it ever has, especially in your industry. Your industry was such a of the hands thing for so long.
Oh yeah.
And what it comes down to is in the end, you are creating something that they're trying to sell. So if the public will buy a ticket to see the junky makeup or the bad CGI, they're not going to see a reason to do it better.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
It's really what it is. It's really what it is. But I can't. I don't want to sit here and beat people up. But the fact of the matter is, there is bad work out there. There's good work out there. There's medium work out there. It's what the industry is. You have to find that level that wholly works. And like I said, I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I go, they probably cut his budget in half halfway through the job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's really interesting. And don't forget the platforms have changed, right? I mean, Netflix and all these streaming services changed theaters forever.
Yeah.
So.
And there was a long time in there that they were like, we need content. Go.
Well, everyone ate up all the content during COVID.
Yeah,
go. Just put anything out there quick.
Yeah, but it was good, man. Everybody was working. We had a good amount of work going on.
Oh, my gosh. Guys, I'm going to put his social up here for you to go follow and stay along with Josh out there.
Yeah, buddy.
If you can't tell, a lot of energy, always doing very cool things. I'm really glad I got you to come back.
No, and on top of it, I'm really cool, too. So it's awesome.
Josh, is there anything you want to shout them out that you're working on that they should keep an eye out for or anything? Or
it's
no
hard.
Trace Blood?
No Trace Blood. There's a book coming out at the end of the summer called Making Monsters by Howard Berger.
Amazing.
That lucky enough that he asked me to be a little bit of a piece in it. So I'm excited about that. That comes out in September. Give that a shot. There's a pre-order. But yeah, there's like things like I have a couple of movies coming out in the fall. It's hard because we can never really share.
Can't talk about it.
You can't share
NDA,
stuff,
baby.
You know?
NDAs.
Yeah.
But listen, guys, follow him. Stay up on everything. Drop him a note. And,
Yeah, man.
you know,
And anybody has any questions out there, please feel free to shoot me a thing.
And
what do you call it? A thing.
Do me a favor. Flood his DMs to get a YouTube channel together with tutorials. Because what is going on here?
I'm in.
Just hound him.
Well, why don't we do it?
Man.
Why don't we do it? He's like, oh, you go do it.
All right.
I'm lazy as shit.
What? Josh Cherry's going to be back here to do an actual live
lazy
makeup,
shit.
and we're going to shoot it live for you guys.
So he says.
Now you're married to it.
So he says.
No, it's going to happen.
All right. I'm
Josh,
in.
it's always been a pleasure.
This has been awesome, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. The fact that I'm looking up there and seeing people here, that's just kind of blowing my mind. Like, who the hell wants to look at this? But whatever.
Oh, no, this is simulation. We actually
cool. It's all AI.
That's all. We just
It's
wrote
all
that.
AI.
Yeah, it's just
I got
happening
it.
right now.
I got it.
No. Guys, do me a favor. Enjoy the rest of your week, but check out the Adorama Events channel if you get a chance. This is the QR code right here with all the live demos that are coming out of the space is right there. Hit follow. We just hit 12K.
It's right there.
You're going to practically make me a
right
QR code.
There.
You're going to make a QR code for me?
It's right here.
So this is, imagine 15 years of people like this in my studio. I just want you to realize what I've been through, okay? Hey, thank you, Timber, for the bag. Thank you, Gotham Roasters. Thank you, Cronus, for sponsoring.
Yeah,
and
good coffee, man.
If you're new here, hit subscribe.
That was good coffee.
It was good coffee.
Yeah.
And don't forget, there's 65 other episodes of this. If you haven't been watching this, go check them out.
Yeah, man. That was the thing. I started checking out some of the past episodes that you did. A lot of them are fun, man.
Thanks, man. Thank you very much.
Fun, man.
And it's all free. It's all free, guys.
Yeah. Lots of info.
Hit subscribe, hit like, and just so you know, if you're into cinema, because you might be watching this because you're a cinema kid, Adorama Cinema channel just started, so that's cranking along also. Go hit subscribe over there. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Next week, I'll have Will Cadena on, and there's going to be a bunch of class coming out here. Thursday, Daniel Norton's going to be shooting live here on this channel, shooting with everything except softbox.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks for questions, too, man. That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Josh.
You know?
We'll have to do this in 10 more years.
What do we do? Yeah, we'll wait another 10 years.
No, we're going to go shoot something. We have to shoot something.
Yeah, why aren't we doing that?
All right, we're going to go shoot something. All right, guys.
He said it.
Be good to each other, and I'll see you on the next one. Later, guys.